If you've ever wondered why your bank account seems permanently stuck at zero, why payday feels like a countdown to the next paycheck, or why building wealth feels impossible no matter how hard you work, then this video is for you. You're not alone in feeling this way. Millions of people wake up every single day stressed about money. They work hard, they try to do the right things, but somehow they never seem to get ahead. And here's what most people don't realize. It's probably not your fault. The system wasn't designed to teach you how to win. The truth is, most people were never taught how money actually works. We spend 12 years in school learning algebra, history, and science, but somehow personal finance gets completely ignored. Nobody teaches us about compound interest, budgeting, or how credit cards actually make money off of us. Today, we're going to fix that. I'm going to walk you through 7 specific habits that keep people broke. These habits are so common, so normalized in our society, that you might not even realize you're doing them. And more importantly, I'll show you exactly how to break free from each one. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap to start building real wealth. Habit number 1. You don't know where your money goes. Here's a question that makes most people deeply uncomfortable. How much did you spend last month on food? Not a rough guess. The actual number. What about entertainment? Subscriptions you forgot you even signed up for. If you can't answer those questions within $50, you have a serious problem. And I don't say that to shame you. I say it because this invisible spending is the number one reason people stay broke despite earning decent incomes. Studies show that people who actively track their spending save an average of 20% more than those who don't. Think about that for a moment. That's not a small difference. On a $50,000 salary, that's $10,000 a year. Over a decade, that's $100,000. Over a career, that could be the difference between retiring comfortably and working until you physically can't anymore. The problem isn't that you're irresponsible or bad with money. The problem is that small purchases are completely invisible. $5 here, $10 there, a subscription you forgot about, a convenience fee you didn't notice. None of these feel significant in the moment, but they add up relentlessly. Let me give you a concrete example. That $4 latte every morning before work. Seems harmless, right? It's just $4. But let's do the math. $4 times 5 days a week is $20. Times 52 weeks is $1,040. Add in the occasional pastry or weekend treat, and you're looking at nearly $1,500 a year. On coffee, I'm not saying you can't enjoy your coffee. Life should have pleasures, but here's the key difference. Wealthy people know they're spending $1,500 on coffee. They've made a conscious choice. Broke people have no idea where that money went. The fix is simple, but incredibly powerful. Track every single dollar for 1 month. Every purchase, every subscription, every forgotten fee. Use an app like YNAB or Mint, a spreadsheet, or even a notebook. The method doesn't matter. Just write it down. You'll be shocked at what you discover. Most people find at least $200 in spending they didn't even know existed. Subscriptions they never use. Fees they could avoid. Impulse purchases they don't remember making. That's $200 a month that could be building your future instead of vanishing into thin air. Habit number 2 is called lifestyle creep. And it's the silent wealth killer that affects almost everyone who gets a raise or a promotion. Here's how it works. You start your career earning $40,000. You live in a modest apartment, drive a used car. and watch your spending. Then you get promoted. Your salary jumps to $65,000. Suddenly, you've got an extra $1,000 a month after taxes. You worked hard for this. You deserve to enjoy it, right? What do most people do with that raise? They upgrade their car, move to a nicer apartment with granite countertops and a fitness center, start eating out more because they can afford it now, buy better clothes for their new position, upgrade to the latest phone. Each purchase seems reasonable on its own. You can afford it. You're not going into debt. But within 6 months, something strange happens. That entire raise has completely disappeared into your new lifestyle. You're earning $25,000 more per year, but you're saving the exact same amount you were before. Zero. This is exactly why doctors, lawyers, and high-earning professionals can be completely broke while teachers and nurses quietly build wealth. Income does not create wealth. Let me say that again because it's crucial. Income does not create wealth. The gap between what you earn and what you spend creates wealth. That's the only formula that matters. Someone earning $50,000 and spending $40,000 will always build more wealth than someone earning $200,000 and spending $200,000. Always. The solution is elegant and automatic. Every time you get a raise, pretend you didn't get the full amount. Immediately increase your automatic savings by at least half the difference. Do this before the money ever hits your checking account, before you see it, before you can spend it. Get a $1,000 monthly raise, increase your automatic 401k contribution or savings transfer by $500. You'll still have an extra $500 to enjoy. You'll still feel richer, but you'll actually be building wealth instead of just upgrading your lifestyle. This one habit alone can make you a millionaire. Habit number 3, you're paying interest on almost everything you buy. Let me tell you about the most expensive things you'll ever purchase in your lifetime. It's not your house. It's not your car. It's not your college education. It's the interest on your house, your car, and your education. Interest is invisible. It doesn't show up on price tags, but it can literally double the cost of everything you buy. Let's look at a typical mortgage. A $200,000 home loan at 7% interest over 30 years doesn't cost $200,000. When you add up every payment over those 30 years, you'll pay approximately $370,000. That's $170,000 in interest alone. You're paying almost double for your home. Almost double. And that's for a mortgage, which has relatively low interest rates. Other types of debt are far worse. Credit cards are financial quicksand. The average credit card interest rate right now is over 24%. If you have $5,000 in credit card debt and only make minimum payments, here's what actually happens. You'll pay over $10,000 total before it's paid off, and it will take you approximately 18 years. 18 years of payments to buy whatever it was you bought. Probably something you don't even own anymore. The credit card company loves minimum payments. That's how they make their money. Your minimum payment is carefully calculated to keep you in debt as long as mathematically possible. And let's talk about car loans. The average American car payment is now over $700 a month for 6 or 7 years on an asset that loses 40% of its value in the first 3 years. Think about that. You're making payments on a car that's worth less than what you owe on it for most of the loan. This is not how wealthy people operate. This is how the financial industry keeps regular people on the hamster wheel forever. The wealthy play a completely different game. They earn interest instead of paying it. They buy reliable used cars with cash. They pay off credit cards in full every single month, treating them as convenience tools, not borrowing tools. Here's your new rule, and it will change your financial life. If you can't afford to buy something twice with cash, you can't afford to buy it once with credit. This simple rule will keep you out of the debt trap that captures most Americans. Habit number 4, you don't have an emergency fund. Here's a truth about life that nobody wants to hear. Life is going to punch you in the face. Financially speaking, your car will break down at the worst possible time. Your refrigerator will die the week before payday. You'll have a medical emergency, a job loss, or an unexpected expense. This isn't pessimism. This is statistics. These things happen to everyone. Here's a statistic that should terrify you. 60% of Americans cannot cover a $500 emergency without going into debt. 60%. That means one unexpected flat tire, one urgent care visit for a sick kid, one broken water heater, and they're pulling out a credit card, starting the debt cycle all over again. This is the poverty trap in action. Without a cushion, every emergency becomes a financial crisis. Every crisis leads to debt. Debt leads to interest payments. Interest payments reduce your ability to save, and the cycle continues forever. Here's how to break free. Start small and build consistently. Your first milestone is $1,000. This covers most minor emergencies, car repairs, appliance breakdowns, small medical bills. Once you hit 1,000, keep going. Your next target is 1 month of expenses, then 3 months, then 6 months. 6 months of expenses and savings means you could lose your job tomorrow and have half a year to find a new one without panic. That's not just financial security, that's freedom. The psychological benefit of an emergency fund is just as important as the financial benefit. When you have a cushion, everything changes. You negotiate harder for raises because you're not desperate. You don't panic when unexpected bills arrive. You make better decisions because you're not operating from fear. You sleep better at night. An emergency fund isn't really about the money sitting in that account. It's about the options and the peace of mind that money gives you. It's about breaking the cycle of financial anxiety that traps so many people. Habit number 5, you're making financial decisions based on what everyone else is doing. Here's an uncomfortable truth. The average American has over $6,000 in credit card debt. The average American has almost no retirement savings. The average American will work until they're physically unable to work anymore, then depend on Social Security that barely covers basic expenses. Why would you want to be average? Why would you copy what everyone else is doing when what everyone else is doing clearly isn't working? Keeping up with the Joneses is a race to the bottom. Here's a secret that took me years to learn. The Joneses are broke too. They're leasing that luxury car because they can't afford to buy it. They're one paycheck away from losing that big house with the 3-car garage. Their lifestyle is a facade built on debt. Studies consistently show that the majority of actual millionaires, people with real wealth, drive used cars and live in modest homes. They don't wear designer clothes or flash expensive watches. Real wealth is invisible. What you see people showing off is usually debt, not wealth. Social media has made this comparison trap 1,000 times worse. You're constantly comparing your real life to everyone else's highlight reel. That friend posting vacation photos from Bali, They might have put the whole trip on a credit card. That influencer with the designer wardrobe, they might be drowning in debt or living with their parents. You have no idea what anyone's actual financial situation is. Stop comparing. Stop competing. Start building. Getting wealthy requires being weird. It requires doing what normal people won't do. It means driving your reliable old car for another year, while coworkers lease new ones. It means packing lunch when everyone goes out to expensive restaurants. It means saying no to things you could technically afford because you have bigger goals. This feels uncomfortable at first. You might feel like you're missing out, but you're not missing out. You're opting out of the debt trap that catches everyone else. Fast forward 20 years. The people who are normal are still stressed about money, still working jobs they hate because they have no choice, still living paycheck to paycheck despite decades of raises. And you're financially free. You work because you want to, not because you have to. Normal people are stressed about money their entire lives. Be weird instead. Be wealthy instead. Habit number 6. Your money is sitting still instead of working for you. If all your savings are sitting in a checking account earning 0 interest, I have bad news. You're not saving money. You're losing it. Inflation averages about 3% per year. That means every dollar you have buys 3% less next year. Your money is literally worth less every single day. It sits there doing nothing. $1,000 today will only buy $970 worth of stuff next year. In 10 years, it buys only $740 worth. Your savings account is a slow leak. Let me show you the difference that investing makes over a career. 2 people both save $100 a month for 30 years. Person A keeps it in a savings account, earning basically nothing. After 30 years, they have about $36,000. Not bad, right? Person B invests that same $100 monthly in a simple index fund, averaging 8% returns. After 30 years, they have over $150,000. Same monthly sacrifice, same discipline, 4 times the result. That's the power of compound interest. Albert Einstein allegedly called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. Whether he actually said it or not, he should have, because compound interest is the closest thing to magic that exists in finance. Here's how it works. Your money earns returns. Then those returns earn returns. Then those returns earn returns. It's exponential growth. It starts slow, almost imperceptibly slow, but given enough time, it becomes unstoppable. A snowball rolling down a mountain. And here's the crucial part. Time matters more than the amount you invest. Someone who invests just $200 a month starting at age 25 will have more money at retirement than someone investing $400 a month starting at 35. The person investing half as much ends up with more because they gave compound interest an extra 10 years to work. Every year you wait to start investing costs you exponentially more in the long run. Time is literally worth more than money when it comes to building wealth. Now here's the good news. You don't need to be a stock-picking genius to invest successfully. You don't need to watch financial news or time the market. A simple, boring, target date index fund will outperform most professional money managers over the long term. Exposed to the whole market, automatically diversified, minimal fees. If your employer offers a 401k match, start there immediately. That's free money. If they match 50% up to 6% of your salary, contribute at least 6%. You're getting an instant 50% return before the market even does anything. Habit number 7. You have no idea where you're actually going with your money. Would you get in your car and start driving without knowing your destination? Would you start cooking dinner without knowing what meal you're trying to make? Then why are so many people managing their money day after day, year after year, without any specific financial goals? Without a destination, you're just wandering. And wandering people don't build wealth, they drift. Vague wishes aren't goals. I want to be rich isn't a goal. I want to save more money isn't a goal. A real goal is specific, measurable, and has a deadline. I will have $10,000 in my emergency fund by December 31st. That's a goal. I will pay off my credit card by June. That's a goal. I will max out my Roth IRA this year. That's a goal. When you have a specific target with a specific deadline, your brain automatically starts finding ways to hit it. When you don't, you just wander. Write your goals down. This sounds simple, almost too simple, but research proves it works. People who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them than people who just think about their goals. Something about the physical act of writing creates commitment. Then break those big goals into monthly milestones. Want $10,000 in savings by year end. That's $834 per month. That's about $208 per week. That's about $30 per day. Suddenly, an intimidating goal becomes a daily choice. Here's a mindset shift that changes everything. Give every dollar a job. When money comes in, immediately assign it a purpose. This goes to rent. This goes to groceries. This goes to the emergency fund. This goes to investing. Every single dollar has a mission. When you give money a purpose, it stops disappearing. When every dollar is accounted for, you stop wondering where it all went. Your money starts working for your goals instead of vanishing into unconscious spending. Let's recap the 7 habits that keep people broke. 1. Not tracking where your money goes. The invisible spending that adds up to thousands per year. 2. Lifestyle creep that eats every raise and keeps you running in place. 3. Paying interest on everything, doubling the cost of what you buy. 4. No emergency fund, making every surprise a financial crisis. 5. Following the broke crowd instead of building your own path. 6. Letting money sit and lose value instead of growing through investing. 7. Drifting without specific, written financial goals. Here's the good news. You can fix all 7 of those habits. Not overnight. That's not how real change works. But systematically, one habit at a time, you can transform your financial life. Pick one habit to work on this month. Just one. Master it until it becomes automatic. Then move to the next one. Small changes compound over time. That's the whole point. That's how wealth actually gets built. Not through lottery tickets or get-rich-quick schemes. Through consistent, boring, powerful habits. Financial freedom isn't really about making more money. Plenty of high earners are broke. Financial freedom is about keeping more of what you make and putting that money to work. It's not about perfection either. You don't need to be perfect with money. You just need to be better than you were yesterday, better than you were last month, consistently improving, consistently building, consistently growing. If you found this valuable, subscribe to Smart Money Basics. We release new episodes every week covering budgeting, investing, debt payoff strategies, and building real, lasting wealth. Remember, your financial future starts with the next decision you make. Not tomorrow, not next month, right now. What you do with your next dollar matters. Make it count.